His Excellency Ambassador Jose C. Laurel V, DCM Ed Menes, Consul General Marian Jocelyn Tirol Ignacio, Consul March Malang, our dear professors, our families and friends, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I failed. You know, that is my first sentence, and I know that this is the recognition right, so you might be wondering why I am saying that I failed. It is ironic to start the response from the graduates with something like failure, but it is what it is. I failed in a lot of things. I failed to reach some of my goals. I failed to get enough sleep last night. I failed to visit some notable places in Japan. I failed in some major decisions. We all fail, from the smallest things to the biggest ones. We will somehow fail in some aspects. This is the reality that we have to face. But failure does not mean that it is all bad. I was browsing Facebook yesterday, looking for anything that would help me put up a sensible speech for today. So yes, you might be guessing that I just made a speech this morning. I came across a photo of a rather famous life advice by India's 11th President, Dr. AJP Abdul Kalam. He said, and I quote, "If you fail, never give up, because fail, or F-A-I-L, means first attempt in learning." We are scholars here, supported by the Philippine and Japanese governments. And we are all here to celebrate not just the success, but the failures we made. We may have failed once, or twice, or even many times, but it just gave us the opportunity to learn more and be better. So here we are today, finally graduating from all the failures, and because each one of my fellow graduates did not give up, failure became a success for them and for me also. With the help of our professors, our classmates, our lab mates, our love mates, families and friends, our failures have turned us into the graduates that we are today. So whenever some people tell something about failure, maybe we can tell them that fail is first attempt in learning. And it is never a shameful thing to fail, because it will eventually lead us to success. Of course, as long as we don't give up. So thank you to all the people who helped us get through everything. Some of us are scheduled to fly back to the Philippines soon. Me and two of my colleagues from the government also. By the way, we are JDS scholars, and JDS stands for Japanese Grant Aid for Human Resource Development Program. So it's targeting government employees. So I'm from the Civil Service Commission, and my two colleagues, Ms. Jonna Corbus from the Department of Agriculture, and Ms. Lou Pagarantila from the Office of the Ombudsman. We are scheduled to fly tomorrow back to Manila. And it is a bittersweet ending for us, I know. My Ditta asked me yesterday, "Are you torn between going back and staying in Japan?" It was actually difficult to answer. I fell in love with Japan and in Japan. But I know I have to go back to our country to serve the people and give back. We all have to eventually. It is very tempting to stay in a country where traffic and safety are the least of your worries. It is also very convincing to stay in Japan, especially with what is happening in many parts of our country. But all good things have to end in some ways. A person close to my heart asked me a month ago, is this really the end of the journey? I did not answer because I was hoping for more, whatever more means. Then again, the life advice from Dr. Kalam struck me. He said, and I quote, "End is not the end." In fact, END means effort never dies. We may have finished our mission in Japan, but I would like to believe that the journey does not end here. Learning never ends. Effort never dies. As long as we continue to push for self-development, our contribution to the society will never end. As long as we try to learn new things every day, there will be no end to our country's potential. So remember, END, end is not the end. Let us look at it as effort never dies. For many of us, staying in Japan for 2 years or so is a blessing. Each one of us arrived in Japan's soil with purpose. Along the way, we may have changed. I would like to believe that if there are any changes, those are for the better. Pasensya na po kayo kung puro hugot lines ang naririnig ninyo ngayong hapon mula sa akin. Mixed emotions. I'm feeling a lot of emotions, especially now that I'm leaving soon. Maraming nabago, maraming natutunan, maraming gustong simulan. As scholars, it is our responsibility to conduct ourselves in a way that would bring pride and honor to our country. If there is one lesson that I will always remember during my stay in Japan, aside of course from the knowledge and ideas gained in the university, it would be to always have faith. There are many challenges, and the time we spent in Japan is just the beginning of something great, most of all, ahead of us. Have faith. Have faith in God and in your peers, but most of all, have faith in yourself. I read this somewhere, may nabasa na naman ako. If you are looking for someone to change your life, just look at the mirror. Now, it is time to end. Again, end is not the end. It is the beginning of new efforts that will never die. So, let us not be afraid to fail. Believe that endings are also beautiful beginnings, and keep the faith. Thank you everyone. Domo arigatou gozaimasu, Japan. Maraming salamat, Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang mga iskolar ng bayan.